guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's episode of Singles Get to Ready, we shall be discussing and I will be giving you 10 tips that your relationship is dying. So if your relationship is important to you and you happen to come across these 10 tips in your relationship, any of them, please, it's a red flag and it's actually not good for your relationship, especially if you want a relationship to lead to marriage. And if you're in marriage, of course, and your marriage is tearing apart, these are the signs and these are the tips that you shouldn't ignore. It's worth looking into if that marriage must be saved. But before we dive into the video, if you're just clicking on this video, please hit on the red subscribe button down there, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment, and don't forget to watch to the end because I'll be giving the best and I will reserve the best for the end. Signs that your relationship is dying. The first one that you love to get from me is too much conflict. When I talk about too much conflict, you met this guy, you met this girl, you guys were, everything was good, everything was rosy, you guys were enjoying, the relationship was okay, you understand each other, but suddenly everything that you do is now a problem to your partner. Everything he does for you is now something that is negligent. You now complain from morning to evening, constant fighting, constant conflict, and non-resolved conflict. It's something you should really take note. That's a sign the relationship is dying. And if that relationship is not for you, please sit back, take some time, and try to figure out how you can make things work and reduce the conflict. Challenges will all come in your relationship, I know, but when it becomes a constant thing and it becomes an everyday issue without being solved, then I think there's a problem there. You need to treat it. Guys, talking about the second thing, the second sign that your relationships are the verge of dying is when there is less care and attention. You all know that men love to be cared for. That's why we call them our babies, because they always want us to pamper them. Just like women love attention. So if you don't give it enough attention to your woman, there, I don't know. So if you're in that relationship whereby the way he used to give attention to you has reduced, I think it's something that you have to really raise your eyebrow and look into it. And if you're in a relationship where he used to be very caring, very romantic, but suddenly that caring nature or action has disappeared, I think you need to figure out what used to make him be very caring and bring it back to your relationship. If you don't want that relationship to head for a scratch, same with your marriage. If you don't want your marriage to go into shutter and to be mocked seriously when there is less care and attention, that is something not to neglect. The third sign that tells you that your relationship is at the edge of dying is lack of intimacy. Yes, you heard me right. Lack of intimacy. You know, when you guys first met together, you were so fond of each other. Like you walk, you hold your hands. When he comes up from work, you give him a peck, you hug him. When you're in the parlor, you come sleep on his laps, you know, and you guys just, you kiss at night, you have intercourse, you enjoy it. You don't have to beg and cry for it. You understand? It just flows. But right now, it's no longer flowing again. It's like you have to pay for it. It's like you have to beg for it. It means there's something happening, and that's something that you shouldn't neglect. You should look into it. So when you guys are no longer intimate like before, it's a sign that your relationship is on the way to the mortuary. It's actually going closer to you. The first sign you don't have to ignore that will tell you that your relationship is at the edge of dying is insufficient time spending. What I mean by insufficient time spending, I mean like he no longer has time to spend with you. He creates all kinds of excuses. He brings up all kinds of reasons and excuses so that he doesn't have to spend the weekend with you, so that he doesn't have to come back home early enough to be with you and the family, so that he doesn't invite you over. And even when you make out time to go invite him, if you guys are still dating, he'll be so moody and you tell him like, babe, what's happening? Aren't you happy to see me? And he'll be like, you should have called me, you're coming. When your relationship starts being that way, that you have to beg for time, I think it's a red flag that you don't have to do. I think you have to look into it and find out what is making and bringing this distance between you both. Because if you guys met, you always jump on every slightest opportunity to be with the hands of each other, to be with each other, to spend time with each other. But what's happening that you find it so difficult now to be in presence of each other? Something is wrong. I bet you have to look for that something and work on it. That should tell you that your relationship is on the way to its grave. Which is the fifth sign that you shouldn't ignore, that you shouldn't. You can ignore all other signs, but this one you shouldn't ignore is no future talk. You got me right. When you're in a relationship and there is no future talk, seriously, you are in deep mess. Your relationship is about to go down. There is nothing about it. You don't need a prophet to tell you. You don't need to go to school to know about that. If your relationship has no future talk, you guys can't talk about the future, you can't talk about how you'll be of together. It simply means that your partner doesn't see you in his future, or she doesn't see you in her future. You have to work on it. Seriously, it's the key. The sixth sign that everyone should ignore in their relationship is cheating. I know this is very popular and very common because this is actually the reason why so many relationships are gone into the desert and so many marriages have been broken because of this idea or this issue of cheating. So cheating is the top, like no one has to tell you. But then if you still love your partner even after what they have done, because none is perfect, you can forgive them and make things sound together. But then if your partner has started cheating with you, seriously, it's a sign you shouldn't ignore. Because if they cheat on you while you guys are still dating, what else when you get married they won't cheat? That's a question to ask yourself. And think if it's worth working for and being in a relationship or moving out. So the seventh sign to prove that your relationship is actually dying is living a separate life. When I say living a separate life, it means you now get to a level where you don't talk to each other again. You don't tell each other your plans. You don't tell each other your projects. You don't share with each other your success, your breakthroughs. You no longer talk together. Like if he's watching the television downstairs, you're in the room. And if he's in the room, you're in the parlor. You make everything possible to live separate different lives, even when you're on the same. There is a problem, and I think you should work on it if that relationship or that marriage is worth saving. The end point that you have to look into it and not neglect it is being indifferent in the absence of your partner. When you just fall in love and you just met someone, you guys are dating and you guys happen to be together. Let me just take a common example that we all know. You went to visit your guy and you have to go back. You went to visit for the weekend and you have to leave. Do you know what you feel when you guys have to separate? How do you feel? I believe you don't feel so happy, right? That emotion, that feeling there, that makes you feel like, oh, you want to be with him, you miss him and everything. When that dies off, then there is a problem. I think something you shouldn't neglect. So you should be different when your partner isn't there. Like his absence or her absence should make you feel different. But when it makes you feel indifferent, like you don't feel anything, oh, okay, she traveled and you don't feel that you don't feel, I know men are very strong, I think they might not do that, but you should feel it. When it's no longer there, then there is a problem. The ninth sign that tells you that your relationship is actually dying and it's worth saving is negative complaints. Seriously, negative comparisons is something that you should watch out for. You can't be comparing your husband with another man outside simply because in public they behave so cool. You tell your husband, you're a good for nothing man. Look at that guy out there. He opened the door for his wife to go out. He held her hand and they climbed the stairs together. And you couldn't do the same. You got there, you were just in front going and all of that. How far are you sure that he's opening the door for her to come out of the car in public and not using that same door to bash her head in private? How far are you sure? Any of your partners start complaining, start lashing you in a negative way and comparing you with people in a negative form. Seriously, it's a sign to watch out. They are getting fed away of that relationship. They are getting fed away with you. It's not like they want to encourage you to work. They want to use that to like say something that they will now use that something to say, okay, you don't love me, I'm packing out, or the relationship is over. So watch out and do work on it. Because it's something that you shouldn't neglect. And you shouldn't neglect 10 signs that tells you that there is an issue happening in your relationship. Like if you don't do something fast about it, your relationship will be long buried and forgotten. Or your marriage, it will be long buried and forgotten. Now would suddenly stop appreciating you. There's a difference between someone who has been appreciating you and suddenly not really be appreciating from the onset, okay? So if he used to appreciate you for every little thing that you do, every little service that you do, every little thing that you give him or her, and suddenly they stop saying thank you, I'm so happy, I appreciate, God bless you. It's something that you shouldn't close your eyes to. You should raise your eyebrows and you should check it well, because that might be a sign that that person is actually walking away from that relationship without wanting to tell you now. Maybe let's see you to discover that, okay? Things are no longer the same. Call me and and comment in the comment section and tell me what other sign tells you that your relationship is actually dying. I guess this video was really interesting to you. Please, it's not like if you have just one of the signs, you should just walk out of the relationship or you should start panicking. Some of the signs might not be, if they happen just once, which can be a mistake, okay, there's no cause for alarm. But when it happens repeatedly and you have over 5 of these signs, you really want to save that relationship or that marriage. But if you want to let it be shattered and broken, it's okay. Then don't do anything negative. It was nice talking to you guys, and let me see you in my next video. But before we go, hit the rest time button, yes, and give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comment section.